26th of December. Well, I'm glad the holidays are over. I'll tell you that much. Um, yeah, I finally was able to rest today, and it felt really nice to just take a day off and not be scrambling to shop or, you know, even have to see anyone else. I love my family. I love friends and getting together, but I'm not gonna lie, my social battery was drained by the time the 25th hit. So I'm very happy that it's all over. Um, we had a good Christmas. I visited all my folks and watched a lot of Christmas movies, and had a lot of good food. And now we're back to reality. The reality that matters, honestly. I mean, the holidays are like a scramble uh, to just get shit done. It's one thing after another with the finance and the gift giving and the visiting. But it's all over, and I'm still here. And I didn't have a panic attack, nor did I break down. So that is a win. But I did catch that Marty Supreme movie on the 24th, and it was really good. I didn't think it was gonna be as chaotic as it was. Um, yeah, it was a good movie. I mean, performances were all good. The story was great. I love the twists and turns. It reminded me a lot of the Uncut Gems, the movie with Adam Sandler. And then I saw that one of the Safdie brothers directed it, so it made sense that the movie was as chaotic, and as the stakes were high, and the guy just needed to get shit done uh, to accomplish what he had set out to do. Um, so one thing I really liked about the movie was that the protagonist, Marty, fucking Timothy, you know, um, he was a top dog in the beginning of the movie, and he was getting away with a lot of shit. He knew he was really good at what he did, and he acted like it, and he had a lot of bravado. In the beginning of the movie, it was kind of hard to buy into the character because he had so much belief in himself, and it just seemed like he was taking everything on in a sort of like, he was kind of arrogant, you know what I mean? Um, I wouldn't even say kinda. He was arrogant, and it was cool to see the juxtaposition between the first part of the movie and the latter part. The first part, everything was clicking, going his way until he faced off with a Japanese dude at the end, and and I didn't get. I thought the whole movie was gonna revolve around the tournament, so I thought the finale for the tournament was gonna be at the end of the movie. I didn't realize that him losing the tournament to the Japanese dude was only the beginning. But I loved how the first part of the movie was him thinking he was Mr. Big Shot, and then the second part of the movie was him like constantly just being humbled, and the decisions that he made came back to bite him in the ass. I don't know. It was really nice to see that it only takes one little slip up to for you to get back down and have to climb up that mountain again. Um, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I thought Timothy was really good in the movie. I bought into the character. Honestly, when he was being humbled, I think it's because I didn't have much context to why this dude believed in himself so much. But the second part of the movie, we really got to see how he handled situations, and while he didn't handle it the most pragmatic way, it showed he had that belief in himself to get back out there and get his rematch against the previous victor from the year before, which was the Japanese guy. Um, yeah, super cool movie. Uh, I saw it with moms and my brother, and they both enjoyed it as well. Um, and I thought it was really funny how every time things seemed to be going right, they would immediately go wrong again, and he was back at square one. He's like constantly coming back to square one because he was trying so hard to make shit happen and make it happen as quickly as possible. And then, it's like the door would open and then it would close on his face again. Really cool movie. I mean, I think to be the best, you gotta, you really do gotta like learn to bounce back as quickly as you can, you know, in intelligent ways. And we got to really see how this dude didn't really think things through. He was like a just like a man on fire, really. Just like you know, going full like cowboy mode, and taking care of business without really a lot of forethought. But it was admirable the fact that this dude really there wasn't a lot of like internal blocks to his ambition. You know, a lot of the blocks that he had encountered came from the outside world coming down on him. And what I also found really good, um, this is gonna have spoilers. You know what I mean? I always spoil the movie when I'm talking about it because I saw it. If you didn't see it, yeah, just don't watch this. But I thought it was cool how the first victory, the first loss that he had at the tournament when he was at the pinnacle, and then he lost, and then he was like angry, just throwing shit around, acting a fool, and we really got to see like his personality just from the way he reacted from that loss. He really thought he could do no wrong and that he was the very best in the world. But I thought what was more interesting was the second part of the movie and the second climax when he had to face off against the Asian dude again. And I liked how the movie didn't give him a chance to go back to the tournament and show his skills. It was more of a personal victory. Yeah, that shit hits hard because those personal victories, I feel like they're instrumental when it comes to being the best. It's not always about winning, in a crowd of people or when you're at the pinnacle, but it's like the wins that you stack up or like the secret wins, you know what I mean? That a lot of people don't get to see. That really really hold their weight with you internally in a different sort of way. Yeah, I mean, the guy went through it. I mean, the second part of the movie, I felt like he was being humiliated like over and over again, and I kept thinking like, when the fuck is this gonna like wrap up, and when is he gonna be able to magically sort this all out and get his second chance with the Japanese dude? And he was being constantly humiliated. The world was constantly pushing back, and rightfully so, because the way he was doing shit was, it was shady. This dude had that self belief, but it bordered on arrogance, and so the world would constantly come back to bite him in the ass. But I thought it was really cool that he did get his chance to prove himself to himself. Like he thought that he was this person, and those final scenes proved to himself that he was that guy and that he could be that Japanese dude, because he did do it at the end of the movie. Granted, it wasn't at the tournament, but it was in a way where he had had enough, and I felt for the guy. Like at the end, he had gone through so much humiliation, so much pushback, and he really put his foot down and was like, I want that fair match, I want that fair game, and he got it. And yeah, I mean, it was beautiful to see. And I felt like him doing that was him basically also coming down off his high horse. He finally accepted the fact that he wasn't going to be able to go to this other tournament because he was acting an ass. Um, so kind of like we saw some maturity sprout from him, and he made it happen. He made it happen on his own terms, and he forced it. He did force it, but it, I felt like it was rightfully so. I mean, he had done so much just to get to Japan and see this dude face to face. So the fact that he still made it happen, even though it wasn't in the, he wished it would have been like in the tournament, but he still made it happen. He made it happen, and he proved to himself that he could do it. And the fucking Japanese dude was a class act. I mean, that's another thing I noticed. I was like, the Japanese dude literally lifted his hand up, like fucking, he had like honor, and he didn't lose his cool when he lost. He recognized that this kid had gone all this way to face off against him again, and had the gumption to, you know, play it fair, play it straight, and when he beat him fair and square without holding back, the Asian guy just was like, yeah man, like, yeah, you beat me. Like that's something, you know what I mean? That is something. It's like you really saw the tension, and once the tension broke at the end of the last game, it was cool to see that the Asian guy just, he took it on the chin and gave him his respect. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see. I mean, while the way he conducted himself throughout most of the movie was sort of crooked, like hustling people and doing the most to make it happen, it was sort of like desperation that he fed off of, just to see himself in the limelight. But I felt like at the end of the movie it was like a wake up call, like, you know what I mean? With him beating the Japanese dude, and him having a kid, I felt like he recognized, like, all right, like, the personal victory meant more to me than that loss that I took. You know what I mean? That's really what meant more, because he really took it that extra step and persevered, and it hit hard. It was good. It was good. The whole movie was very. There's a lot of movement. There's just like a lot of shit going on, and I think we can all relate. Maybe not to that extent, but just when you're trying to make shit click, and shit's just not clicking, and you just keep trying, you keep trying, and then God or the universe will give you that small win, and you gotta take that and make that work for you. You know what I mean? Keep pushing forward, because that small win, it shows something. You know what I mean? It showed grit, perseverance. It showed that the kid was tenacious. You know what I mean? Tenacity, and it was a beautiful movie. It was a cool movie. And like I said, those personal wins, when no one's looking, when it's not when it doesn't feel like the right time, but you still go through with it. Those wins do mean something, and they hold weight. But yeah, I mean, slowing down to get the win though. Like I feel like that kid was just on fire the whole movie, just trying to make it happen, and things kept happening to him. Kind of like the world showing him that he has to learn patience, he has to accept the consequences to his actions, and him being reluctant to accept any of that. So at the end, it was good to see that he finally did accept that. But I feel like having that humility to take an L on the chin and keep going, not in a crazy way, but in a more accepting and in a more slow and thorough way, is like that's like the mark of a true champion. You know what I mean? So, but I couldn't have chosen a better movie for Christmas Eve. I had a feeling this movie was already going to be good based off the trailer that I had seen six months prior, and it was everything I thought it was going to be, and even a little more. I didn't think it was going to be the movie was going to be shot in that way. I didn't think those scenes were going to be in there, but it was funny. It was funny a lot of the times, just how much pushback he would get, and just how much he wouldn't think things through. It kind of reminded me of like being younger and feeling like you're the chosen one. When you're younger, and then the years pile on, and then you see the reality, and then you're like, you got to slow down and speed up. You got to be more thorough instead of being on fire. Great movie though overall. I'm glad I got to see it with little bro, and I can't say I have gone back on track with my stuff. Today was a total collapse. I'm not gonna lie. I had 2 Christmas gatherings yesterday. One earlier in the day and another later in the day. I did do quite a bit of drinking. There were some drinks left over, so I was dabbling throughout the day to day. And I really wanted to go to work today, just get right back on the horse, but everything I've been partaking in just didn't allow for me to be able to get back on the road. But I have my sights set for tomorrow to really get it together and get back on the path. It's been a lot of celebrating. It's been cool. It's been fun, but it's about that time to really lock in for whatever is next, whatever's coming up come January. What else do I even have to say? I mean, we literally had like the warmest days for the 24th and 25th. Like it literally felt like it was like almost 70 degrees on the 24th, and the 25th was also pretty warm. So that was odd. The 24th and 25th were some of the warmest days in December. I thought that was weird, but it was welcome. I hate being out in the bitter cold. I ate a lot of really good food. I visited my stepdad. He made like, I don't even know what it's called, but he really got down with the grill and made some tasty stuff, and it was fucking like fogo de chao. I mean, the guy knows how to cook. He knows how to season. He knows how to barbecue. He knows how to take his time with shit, and it came out great. Yeah, and then I got back to the mom side of the family, and then it got a little bit more rowdy out here. It was more of a party, more drinking, more having fun, playing games and talking shit. But I enjoyed both. I got to see another movie, another classic Christmas movie called The Christmas Story, and I'm not gonna lie, the first like 45 minutes to an hour of that movie, I was bored to tears. Like I was so bored. I was sipping eggnog with them, but I needed a lot of eggnog to get through that because, yeah, the first hour the movie wasn't clicking for me. But not an hour, but the first 40 minutes. Towards the end of the movie, I kind of like, I kind of got it. I kind of like fell into it, and I was like, okay, I catch the vibe of the movie, and I was able to flow with it. But yeah, the first half, I was literally like falling asleep in my chair. I was literally like Like literally, like, ah, man, I just don't know what it is about old movies, especially old Christmas movies. They just like it's just so slow for me. I don't know. It might just be my attention span. My attention span might just be cooked. But yeah, I tried to give it a chance, but yeah, it was a slow start, but I enjoyed the movie overall. It was cool, and I got to see how okay, I get it. It's a Christmas classic. I talked to my little bro about it too, and he was like, "Yeah, I did not think that movie was gonna be that slow at the beginning," and I was like, "Yeah, that movie took a while to uh, warm up to you. I guess if you didn't grow up with that movie or weren't born at that time." But going back to that Marty Supreme movie, that shit was I thought it was funny how the movie was about ping pong because the kid literally was trying to come out with that orange ping pong ball. He was trying to be like, "Yo, this one is able to be seen better by the players, and you know what I mean. We need something more distinctive." And he was almost able to close a business deal if he wouldn't have been as hot headed and so much of a hustler, have that hustler mentality with everyone. Um, but I thought that was cool, and I thought that it was funny too how the movie was about ping pong, but this guy was literally like a ping pong ball, like just like going from place to place trying to make it happen. People constantly coming down on him, and him having to run from here to there, like back and forth. From all the shit he had done. That was just so funny, but the guy had belief in himself, and I feel like I'd be lacking in that department. Like that movie made me reflect, like, cause I remember being young, like at his age, like 23, like early 20s, and having so many dreams, and then life just comes down on you so hard mid 20s, and then you're like, all right, let's pack it up. Like let's just become just like everyone else, and let's just like you know what I mean. Let's just settle. Fuck it, because you know what I mean. It doesn't seem possible, especially when you got like your own issues to work out, and you see how long that road is gonna be. You know what I mean? It's almost like you don't even have the strength or the energy as the years roll on to hold on to a dream or an ambition that you have. But that movie fired me up. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't agree with everything in that movie, but that belief in self and how slick he was and how he played it, it was just like I feel like a lot of people need some of that, like some of that energy that he was emitting throughout the movie. I feel like some of that energy is what actually ends up making it work. Like it's kind of like pushing through all the obstacles and not losing like that fire. You know what I mean? Because this kid was set on fire just by his ambition, and but I feel like we lose that fire as the years roll on. But I think like as you get older, you really gotta tend to that fire. You know what I mean? Make it a more sustainable fire to carry it all the way, carry the ambition all the way, make the dream happen all the way. It's all about staying power. That's what I hate about reality. Is like this whole shit is about staying power. You know what I mean? It's not even about how hard you're hitting. It's about how many times are you gonna hit. Because you could hit it at any time. You could hit it big at any time. But if you're not constantly trying to go for that dream or go for that ambition or try and prove yourself to be as the man you want to be, then it's all gonna wither away and die. You know. So I think it's not about how hard you hit. You know. It's about how often, how like the consistency, and it's hard, bro. It's hard to be consistent with anything you want to do, especially if it's off the beaten path. Um, Consistency is a huge thing, and it goes a long way if you're able to just keep on doing that thing. You know what I mean? But I felt like, yeah, I got a lot out of that movie because I recognize that in myself. I'm like, ambition doesn't flourish or nothing. There is no fruit that comes from you having an ambition if you're not constantly coming back to the drawing board and really trying it out and really practicing and really like coming up against the wall. You know what I mean? Really trying to just like make it happen. And even if it doesn't happen, just the fact that you made it happen, even when people's eyes aren't on you, those are like the small little victories that add up. And that gives you like the staying power to keep going at it. You know what I mean? It's like those small personal wins that stack up and that give you the strength and the drive to keep going at it even when everything is going to shit around you, you know? But that's it, dude. That's it. That's all I gotta fucking say. I thought that movie was great. It was awesome. It was a reminder to just never let go of the ambition. The fucking, never stop tending to that fire that's in you. And never give up. You know what I mean? It's the oldest saying, just never give up, never back down, and do it when no one's looking. That's the hardest part, is going after your ambition when no one is looking, when the cards are down. Yeah. The whole holiday season has been a wreck, It's been fun, but it's been a wreck. I'm just glad it's all over. I wasn't able to do the paintings that I wanted to make. I'll probably do them at some point and I'll vlog about it, but I didn't have the inner strength to make it happen, nor did I have the focus to sit down and with paint in a blank canvas. So I'm gonna try to make it happen at some point this coming year, or maybe before the end of December. Who the fuck knows? But tomorrow, yeah, I'm locking in. I'm coming back to reality and I'm gonna try to ground myself with some exercise first thing in the morning, and it's back to the drawing board to just really ground myself and make this year a way better year than every other year before. I gotta actually make progress and get out of the hole that I'm in. And yeah, I mean, here's a toast to the next year and holding it down. And yeah, I'm glad it's all over. The holidays are painful when you're broken and struggling. You know what I mean? I was FaceTiming with some family. They were like, what do you got going on, Sebastian? That's crazy. I just gave y'all a name reveal. Yeah, my name is Sebastian. But they were like, what do you got going on? And I didn't even know what the fuck to say. I'm like, I like glossed over it so like nonchalantly. I was like, yeah, same old, same old. You know what I mean? Still doing DoorDash and shit. But that hurts. You know what I mean? To be stuck in the same shit. And people around you are like, oh man, this kid's really getting like real comfortable. Not this kid, this man. But I feel like they still see me as a kid just because they grew up with me and they saw me as a little kid when they met me. But yeah, I mean, it's rough. It's rough. I mean, the holiday season, you reconvene with family and people that knew you for so long and that thought you had potential. And then, I've been stuck in the mud for years, just not able to lock in on any sort of progress or ambition or any sort of like skills really. So it was a painful time. I'm not gonna lie. I hope the holidays next year aren't as painful and I do actually have something to show for, as far as my life goes. But that's it.